The next step is to set up your profile. And when we think about an Instagram profile page, compared to something like a Facebook page where there's so many things that can attract people's attention and so many different things that people can click on, Instagram profile pages are pretty simple, and there's only about 15 or so elements that you need to be aware of and that you need to set up. Because what we want to do is we want to maximize the chances of someone who visits your profile hitting follow. Okay, and you think about it almost like a landing page, right? We want to make sure that it converts, that those who visit your profile look at the elements that you have there and then decide to follow you straight away. So it's definitely worthwhile the investment of time to set it up. So let's just step through each of the elements that are contained on a Instagram profile. The first is your profile photo and stories. So you want to make sure you're using an eye-catching, interesting, and most importantly, a relevant image as part of the profile photo. And then for recent stories, when you post the stories, you get that kind of colored ring that goes around your profile photo. And that allows anyone, not just people who follow your account, but anyone to view your stories and learn more about you. And it also shows people that come there, even if they don't click on your stories, that your account is active. And this can and will increase the chances that they're going to follow your account as a result. The next thing to look at is the number of posts. We know that we need to post consistently. We learned that about the algorithm, but the more that we post, the more it's going to demonstrate credibility to those who visit our profile. The next is the number of followers that your Instagram account has. And if you speak to influencers or large Instagram accounts, they'll all tell you that the more followers that you have, the easier it becomes to attract new followers. And so in a sense, it sort of compounds. And this is because of social proof. That is that when people see that an account already has a lot of followers, they're more inclined to want to follow that account themselves. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you grow your followers as quickly as possible. And we're going to be talking about how to do this in videos coming up. And we also want to make sure that those people that are following your account are engaging with your content, which is going to grant you with that additional reach. The next element is the following. So what you want to do here is you just want to try to make sure that you keep your following to the same level or less than your number of followers. Otherwise, it can appear a little bit spammy. Like if you're following 7,500, which is the maximum number of accounts that you can follow, but you've only got 500 followers, it does look like one of those accounts that's a little bit spammy. The next thing is your account name and your category. And so we want to make sure that we select a category that most accurately describes our organization. And this is going to encourage people that are in your target audience to follow your account. You can hide this. It's not, you don't necessarily have to have your category there. And some people do select entrepreneur as their category and then hide it. And the reason that they do that is because if you do this, a little bit of a hack, you can actually get access to the full database of songs that creator accounts get to use on your Reels. The next and one of the most important parts of an Instagram profile is the bio description. And where most people go wrong with this is that they use the bio description to talk about what their organization does or what they sell. Instead, what you want to do is use it to explain what content, what value your content adds, or why users should follow your account. To give you an example, She's Not Lost is a travel agency, and they have a bio saying community for female travelers finding their way. And what this does is it really kind of appeals to the traveler community, which is their target audience, and also provides a little bit of a highlight into the content that they're going to offer on their Instagram account. And this is going to be a much more effective approach than stating that, hey, we're a travel booking service and we sell travel accessories. You can use a proportion of your bio as a CTA for your bio link. You see a lot of people doing that. Or in some cases, you can use a proportion of your bio to address a frequently asked question. For example, if you're an e-commerce brand and a lot of people are asking you, hey, do you deliver worldwide, or how much do you charge for shipping, to XYZ country, you might write something like free worldwide delivery. The next one is your single URL. And a common mistake here is that people just use this to direct users through to the homepage. Instead, what we want to do is we want to potentially use this to offer value of some kind, like, for example, an ebook or some piece of content, which will increase the chances of someone exchanging their email address, which gets them into your email list. email list, but it will also help you build credibility. If you give away a really great content offer, then people who consume that content offer are going to, you're going to be able to position your expertise, and it's going to actually increase the likelihood, if they haven't yet followed you, that they will come back and do so. Just be aware that people can, of course, click on this link without following you. And also there are certain tools like Linktree, where you can send people to a very kind of basic mobile landing page that allows people to click on multiple links. So we'll tell you a little bit more about this in a video coming up afterwards. The next element is your address. And so you want to include a specific address if you're targeting a small geographic location. For example, if you're a Pilates studio or you're a cafe. If you're targeting a large global audience, you want to make sure that you use a broad address. And this will ensure that more of your followers will have a good chance of becoming paying customers. Again, you're much better off having 1,000 people that are, have a good chance of becoming a paying customer than 10,000 who have no chance of becoming customers. The next is your contact details. And so these are details that show on your profile that allow people to get in touch with you. And here, it's really up to you to decide how people can contact you. If you do put a phone number up there, just be aware that people will contact you. You can put up your WhatsApp details if you have a WhatsApp business account, your email address. People can direct message you, and you can also provide a phone number. The next element is the stories highlights, and this is where you're going to feature your best stories to your profile permanently. So all the stories that you have posted before, even though they've disappeared for everyone else, they do go into a bit of a database that only you can see. And what you can then do is kind of arrange all of your historical stories into logical groups. And I think it's a maximum of 100 clips that you can have per story highlight. And then you can group these together, and then you can have them on your profile there permanently, and they won't disappear. And what you want to do is you want to showcase your brand and kind of summarize why people should follow your account. Again, because anyone who comes to your profile can actually watch those story highlights without first following your account. A good tactic is to have a CTA on the last story that will drive people back to your profile and ideally hit follow. The next one is your feed grid. Okay, so this is the main grid that has your feed posts, and it also would include any Reels or IGTV videos that you've also shared there. And as we've discussed, we need to make sure we design this like a magazine. Then you've got your Reels grid. So this is dedicated real estate for all of your previous Reels. You've got your IGTV grid, which has again real estate for all of your IGTV videos. Next, you've got guides, which are compilations of a couple of things. First, it can be products. Now, if you've got an Instagram shop and you have your own products up there, they can be, groupings of your best products that you can provide commentary to and arrange in an order that you like, or they can be other people's products from other Instagram shops. They can be a collection of places, again, that you can put together in a certain order to provide commentary to. Or finally, they could be a collection of posts, so previous posts that you've shared, arranged in a particular order. They could be your posts or a collection of someone else's posts as well, or a mixture of both. Like stories highlights, what you want to do here is collate that and, again, put your best foot forward. Make sure that if anyone clicks on that doesn't yet follow your account, it's going to get a really, really good idea of the products that you have and some of your best previous posts. There's photos you've been tagged in, so this could be an @mention or it could be a photo tag. Sometimes people tag you in stuff that they shouldn't, so if you can do that, you can just jump in and remove that. And then finally, you've got your recent posts, and your recent posts are exactly that. They're the most recent posts that you have related to your particular account. So as you can see, there's only around kind of 15 elements on the profile that you need to be worried about, that you need to be focused on. But that being said, people are going to come to your profile and they're going to make a decision around whether or not to follow you in a couple of seconds. They're probably going to see if you're active by looking at that ring that goes around your profile photo to show that you've got some recent stories. They'll quickly glance at that. They'll look at the number of followers that you've got. They'll read your bio, check your grid, and maybe look at a handful of your last posts. And they'll do all of that maybe in 3, 4, 5 seconds. Maybe they'll watch your recent stories or some of your story highlights, and maybe they'll click on your different grids or your guides, but most probably don't. And therefore, we want to make sure that with our stories that we are ideally posting stories every single day so that we've got that ring around our profile photo. We want to make sure that we've got a good number of followers. We want to grow them as quickly as we can to establish credibility. We want to make sure that we are constantly testing our bio to see which one results in the fastest follower growth. When it comes to our story highlights, we want to make sure, of course, that you present yourself and your guides, that you present yourself in the best possible light. We want to make our feed grid, it has to look beautiful, have to design it like a magazine. And then finally, those recent posts, we've got to maintain that clear and consistent theme. And really, you're only as good as your last 7 to 10 posts. So we've got to make sure that we're always aiming for really good quality content that gets shared to our Instagram account.